Okay, today we are going to use the variable which, which is a random generator, and it allows you to enter different options for pictures. So let me give you an examples how we're going to start. We go to our bank, and we're gonna start a new question, and I'm gonna make a multiple choice. And remember, if it is a multiple choice question, you can make it by model in case you want to uh, grade it by hand. And I'll show you in a video how you can use later on, how you can use it so that you can post it online, and then it will be graded by a program. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by my narrative, as solve the right triangle. So let me. Okay, so for the indicated side label as X in the triangle below. So again, I am going to go to algorithm definition. So press Control D. And it gets me to this window. So I'm going to press tab, and it brings me to variable. And I'm going to call it which. Which. And then I'm going to have three choices. So which is a variable that has three choices, either 1, 2, or 3. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to leave it like that for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a Cartesian graph. And I want to look at the background for it. And I want to view the, I'm going to put this as 0, 0. And that way I can view what's going on. And so what I'm going to do is I prepared already 3 triangles. And so I'm going to import them. I did it in, I use Paint to create those. So I'm going to double click on the graph, and I would like to insert a new picture. Now look at this picture, and I'll say new. I call it triangle, right triangle 1. So I go to my desktop, and I put it in as a JPEG because it uses less memory. And I'm just going to call it right triangle 1, open. Now, notice one thing that is giving me this graph. So let's see. I'm going to put this at 5. The left is going to be 5. And let's see. Well, I'm going to go back to, okay. I should have used, okay. Oh, okay. Let me see. Triangle 1. And I'm going to say, okay, let me go back to this. I'm not used to viewing it that way. I'm going to put it as the center, okay? Because the machine uses it, the center. So I apologize. So it gave me -5. Let me tell you why it gives me -5. What it does, it automatically, if the width is 10, it lifts the X, it divides it in 2, so it centers the graph. But it's too large a triangle, so I am going to make it a 7. And then I'll make this one, let me see, 7. So this should be -3.5. So 3.5, that's half. So again, it's centering. So 8.995, that's basically 9. So half of 9 is 4.5. So this should be 4.5. And there it is. My triangle is centered. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, show this only if which is equals to 1. So what that does, it gives me a, especially if I post this as a static guide, it will regenerate new triangles and it will be different every time. So I'm going to say, okay, there you go. And I'll put a new picture. Let's see. And I'm going to enter, I'm going to select triangle 2. And again, I put it as a JPEG to save memory. And triangle 2, let's see. it will be this one. And again, it's the same problem. So I'm gonna put here a width of 10. And so this should be 5 will be the center, say 5.2. So this will be 5.2. Half of it is about 2.6. 2.62, so 2.62, and that basically centers it. So I'm good with this graph. I want to show this only if which is equals to 2, and I'll show you what it does. And the name of this picture is right triangle 2, and I'm gonna press OK. And I'm gonna get one more picture, and I will select it as let's see, JPEG, and that was triangle number 3. And there it is. That's too large. I think I used 7 for the other one. So this should be half of 7 is 3.5. So again, is center it on the X. Now I want to center on the Y. So this is technically 8.6. So this should be 4.3. Half of it is 4.3. There you go. And so again, notice that this goes from -3 to 3 because I center the graph. And the name of this is, oh, okay, the name of this is right triangle 3. And this is going to show only if the variable which is equals to 3. Okay. I'm going to say okay. And look at this, I'm done. And so now I'm going to show the variable which right here. So I'm going to insert variable and then which. Now take a look at this. I'm going to create new values. Look at this. When the which is 2, it gives me right triangle 2. And when the which is 3, let's see, if I click a variable, this is when which is 3. And this is, let me see, which is 1. Oh, there you go. So 1, 3, 3, 1, and 2. So it randomly gives me 3 triangles so that if I use this question for my students, it will regenerate new values. Yeah. And so it will give me different triangles. And again, there's a way to upload this as a study guide. The students will get this question and it will change every time. So anyway, so the 3 triangles are different. So let me show you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create my my angles. Now the way I did it is I measure actually the angles, and this was about 44 degrees. So my variable is going to be between 41 and 49. And then this one, this triangle was about, I believe it was about 60 degrees. So, 57, 56, I don't remember, but I measure it or I calculate it. And so so I can get a variable there also around, I'm gonna call it 51 to 58 degrees. And then this one is about 30 degrees. So I'm gonna say it's between 28 and 32. And that way, again, it changes the variables and I can change this. And I can use sine, cosine, tangent for each one of them. And it will give me different variables. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see the rest, I will show you. So I go Control D and I'll create my new variables there. Okay, so now let us create the variables. I will create the variables for the angle. So I'm gonna press tab, tab, tab. Oh, so tab, tab, so that I can create new. It's quicker if I use the keyboard. So let us see. I say new, and I'm gonna say angle Q. Angle Q. That's for the first triangle. is going to be range, and it's going to go from 51, so 51 to 58. So in that way, it looks somewhat proportional. And so there you go. And new, and then I want to say angle Q, angle Q, tab. And then I'm going to say, oh no, that's angle P. I apologize. So that's for the second triangle. And we saw that that was about 40 something. So I'm going to say 41 to 49. And that way it looks somewhat proportional. You know, I like those not to scale, but if it looks somewhat to scale, it's even better. I'll call the other one angle R. So angle R. And that one, the range, that's the acute angle, and that will be between 28 to 32. Yeah. And steps of one. Again, to add variety. And what I'm going to do is this. Now I got 3 angles. So I'm going to create one angle, and I'm going to call it theta. And so I call this angle theta. So, and so I'm going to say, I'm going to use a conditional statement. I'm going to say if the variable which, so is equals to 1, I want theta. So I'm going to use a general angle. You got power of this. I want the angle theta, the general angle, to be angle Q. So this is the syntax for. So again, the format is if you put the condition here, and then this the result. And then I will nest inside this another if statement, another conditional statement if, and my condition will be if which is equals to 2, I want theta to be angle P. And then else, so again, that was the if which is equals 3. That's the default because we only got 3 choices. So the default would be if it is not 1, if it is not 2, then it's got to be 3. So the other one will be angle R. And we close this, and that is my split the character 32. Let's see. If angle Q, if which, oh, I forgot to open a parenthesis for this. I said was going to be nested. And so I need to put, need to close the first nested if, and then the second nested if. That's why it gave me an error. Oops. Invalid variable visual data expect the end of line at character 52. Oh, that is embarrassing. Let me check. Okay, I put an extra parenthesis. I close this nested if, and then I gotta close this nested if, but I had an extra parenthesis. So, okay, so that is my if. Now here's the power. I want to create a display theta. So I call it display theta. You will see why display theta. And what I do is this, I put the value as a string. So a string, and then I'm gonna call theta. So that's the string. And then I will concatenate. That means I will juxtapose, I will put something adjacent next to it. And so I'm gonna put this, the symbol for degree. There you go. So in that way, this concatenates it. It puts it next to each other. And so look at what happens, okay? So solve for the indicated side level of X and the triangle below. The angle is given as And then I can put the theta. Now take a look at this. I insert a variable and I want display theta, and look at what happens, okay? When I press, and I'll look at the which, okay? So notice that angle, if which is equals to 2, this angle is 41, and it looks like 41. It looks a little close to 45, but it's good. Look at this. Angle 1 is this obtuse angle. That's a cute angle, but it's a large. I apologize. So that's 58 degrees. And so let's take a look at another situation. Angle 3, look at this angle, and that's about 30 degrees. And it chooses those values randomly. So that is the power of this. Now, so what I'm going to do is this. I am going to, let me go to situation 1. So it is situation 1. So let's see. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to look at it. There it is. And so what I want to do is I want to enter a box. I like using the text box. And so new text box. And I would like to put that angle as 55 degrees. This is the angle that is 55 degrees. So I am going to say the display theta. So that's why this is a good thing. So I'm going to say display theta, and you can see the angle right there. You see the display over here. So I will change the font. I'm going to put bold, and I can put a dark blue so we can distinguish it. And I'm going to make it 14. Let's see what it looks like on the picture. Now it is right here, so I want to bring it over here. So I want to bring the center of the box to about 1.5 on the X. So 1.5, and I'm guesstimating. And the Y, I'm going to make it 3. It's a little bit more than 3. And what about 3.4? Here you go. That looks perfect. And so I want to show this only if which is equals to 1. There you go. And this will only show in the picture if which is equals to 1. Okay. Now you see. And so now this is situation number 2. So I go to number 2. The angle is 44. So I will put a text box. And I want to put the text box. And this is, again, display theta. And I want a font of, I want it bold. I want to make it dark blue. I can change colors if I want to, you know. And then I will, no, I'll leave it blue so that it always looks the same. I'll put it as 14. And I'll say there. Now, I can put it here, or I can put it here. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to put it on this side. And so the center of the box is going to be about negative 1.5 on the, let me see, about negative 4.5. Yeah, or negative 3.5. Negative 3.5. And then on the X is going to be negative 1.5. Notice that it's too close to the angle, so I am going to make it 3.1. And that seems like a good location. And I want this to display only if which is equals to 2. So because the triangle is going to show when the variable which is equals to 2, the random variable, I want the label to show only when which is equals to 2. So I apply it and I said, okay. And now take a look at this. So I now need situation number 3. Here's number 1. Here's number 2. Notice that the angle is changing. It seems a little high. You know what? Let me put a little bit lower on the Y. So I'm going to put a negative 1.7, negative 1.6. Negative 1.6 seems to work better. Okay, much better. Look at it. And let me go to situation number 3. And that is situation number 3. And I use the small acute angle, so I put it right here. And again, I want a new box, text box. I can use it as a point also, but I like text box better. And I chose my angle is an acute as lower than 45. So I will take this. So I'm going to say display theta. And you can see now that the angle is there. So I am going to use bold and I'm going to use 14. And to stay consistent, I will use the dark blue. That way it kind of stands out. I want the center of the box to be at 2.5 for the Y and 2 for the X. So 2 for the X and 2.5 for the Y. It's a little high. And so let me see, 2 seems to work better, or maybe 1.9, 8. This is a guess and check, you know. And so on the X, I'm going to go a little bit more to the right. So I'm going 2.1. Then look good. Oh, that looks perfect. And so again, I want this to show only if which is equals to 3. And apply. And I say apply. Okay. And there it is now. When which is equals to 3, look at this, yeah? And now I am ready to enter the other labels. So I'm gonna, Okay, so let us now create our variables. And again, I use Control D, or I can go to algorithm definitions. And I want a new variable. And I'm gonna call this G for the given side. And this is gonna be a range. And I can go from, I don't know, from 24 to 64. And I'm gonna go steps on 4, and so that I can get a huge range of numbers. Yeah? So that's gonna be G. And now my X is gonna be, I'm gonna create a list, okay? And so let me show you the way you create a list. So you say X is gonna be from a list. I'm gonna call this solution, okay? So solution, I'll call this, yeah. So solution, I'll put it solve for solution. And so I'm gonna create a list. And now my first value, because I'm gonna use the first situation number 1, so the variable number 1, I want it to be the sign. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna say G, and I'm gonna multiply by the sign of the radian, because I need to convert this to radian. The sign only works with radian of theta, yeah? And so now I'll create another, the next one is going to be, I chose it to be tangent, and I'll show you how rich it is. And we can make it even richer than this, but I just don't want to overwhelm the lesson. So the next one is going to be tangent. I chose it to be tangent. Tangent, radian of theta. And then the next one, I got 3 situations. So situation number 3 is going to be, let me see, it's going to be cosine. So instead of sine, I'm going to call this, and I'm going to write cosine. Now notice one thing, because it's kind of tedious for me to type all of this. So I just put, I just copy and paste it, and I change that. So that's my solution. So what I'm going to do is this. I am going to select X. And so now look at this. I have a which, yeah? So it gives me situation number 1, number 2, number 3. I got a list of possible solutions. I'm going to create a new variable. I'm going to call it X. And so let's see. And so that will be the X. And that will be the solution. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is that's going to give me the value of X. And I'm going to say choose. That's the command. That's the syntax for it. And you choose the variable that is giving you the random numbers. So which I could have called a situation, I call placement. There are any number you put. So which, and then I'm gonna choose a number or a solution based on the list called solution. Oh, so the syntax is, or when you use choose, you put first the random seed or the random variable, and then you put the list. And I want X to have 1 decimal. Yeah. And now I want you to notice what happens. So now I got done. So I can come back over here and then I can place new numbers. So let me see. I'm on situation number 3. So I'm going to say, I want a text box. I like the text box. And look at this. This is situation number 3. And so I want the X to be on this side. Okay. So I'm just going to put the variable X. And so I could, this gives me, when I put quotation marks, it gives me a character. And so let me see, and I want a font, and I'm going to use blue also. And I'm going to use 14 because I use that. And so I'm going to use the dark blue. You can choose different colors. That is my X. I want it to be right here. Yeah. So I want my X to be at the center of the box to be at 3.5. And so 3.5, and the Y could be 0. There you go. So that is my X. I want this to show only if which is equals to 3. Which is equals to 3. There you go. And so apply, it will only show which is equals to 3. I also want to put the given on the hypotenuse because I'm using cosine for that one. So, okay. On a new text box. And this time I am going to place the G, the variable G. And let me use a font of 14 as well. And then I'm going to use dark blue so that we can distinguish them. And it is my value. However, I want it right here. So I want the center to be at -1, 1. So I want it at -1, 1. And let's see what it looks like. Okay. And so, I go apply. It was supposed to give me a value. So I want this to be only if which is equals to 3. So these two values I'm going to apply. I don't know why it didn't give me a value. Oh, I know why. Okay. Because I needed to select the value. So here is the 40 and here is the X. Okay. So I got situation number 3 is all taken under, it's under control. So let's go to situation number 1. For number 1, I use sign. And so I would like to place, let me get a new box. So text box. And I want to put the X, let's see. I want to put the X, and let's put a font, bold, and let's put 14, and I like it to be dark blue so that we can see it. And on that one, I want the X to be on the opposite side because I use sign for that one. And so I wanted to show about right here. So I can put it at the center at -4, 0. So let's see, -4, 0. I think that is a good position, or I can put it at 0.5 so that it looks better. There you go. I want this to show only if which is equals to 1. That's situation number 1. So I press OK. I want a new box, and I want to press the given there. Let's put again 14. Now you probably say it's a lot of work, but you know what? It is worth it because it gives you lots and lots of values. And anyway, it gives you lots of values. Oh, I should have put centimeters or meters. The physics world, I'll change it right now. It will criticize me. Okay, not that I get much, but anyway, so 1.5, no, I do care. 1 is okay, and 0, it's okay. And I want this to show only if which is equals to 1. And you will see what happens. So apply, okay. And I just need to look at situation 1, situation 3. The one that doesn't have a number is 2. Oh, there you go. Here's number 2. And number 2, I use tangent. And so because I use tangent, put a new box, new text box. Now I want the X to be right here. So because I want not the value, I want the variable X to show there. I put it in quotation mark. It will put it as a string, as a letter. 14, again, I want it dark blue. And I just like it. And so I want this to be 3 zeros. So let's see, 3. I think it would look better if we go 0.5. Oh, looks beautiful there. And again, I want this only if the variable which is equals to 2. And I press OK. And one more text box and I'm done. Now I want to put G. Now again, on this one, I use tangent. So I want the G value to be right here. So let me put a different font and let me use 14 again to stay consistent. And you can change values, you can change colors. And then I want it to be at the center a -3.5. So -3.5. And again, and I want this to be 0.5. There you go. And now look at this, yeah? And I want this to show only if the variable which is equals to 2. And it seems like a long video, so there it is. And so now there you go. Bam, 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 bam. Isn't that nice? Yeah. And so I need now to put my solutions. So let me go to Control D and put my solutions. So here's my possible solution: sine, cosine, and tangent. And this will choose a solution. However, I need, because there's a multiple choice, I need another variable. So what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to create another list. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this list, Control C. And I'm going to call it the wrong answers. Okay. I'm going to create a new list. And so now I'll call it the wrong. So this is the wrong. And now one of them is going to be correct. So, but let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to, we will take these values and then we'll copy. Let's see. Well, I'll copy them. There you go. Control C. And then I'll paste them over here. And what I'm going to do is this. sometimes the students just multiply and divide. So I'll put here divide. Yeah. And look at what happens. Now I'll put here I divide. Yeah, I'll just put divide. See what happens. And then I'll put divide here. So what I have is I got 6 wrong choices, if you will. Yeah. And so, so I need to choose, let's 59, let me see. I have a list, G, tensional theta. Oh, I'm missing a parenthesis here. Because it's cosine of the radian. Let's see, you send, let me double check this. And I believe I'm okay. Let's see. Oh, I didn't get an error. So I got 6 wrong choices. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll create a wrong choice one. And what I'm going to do it is I'm going to create it. It's going to be, let me see, choose. And I want a random, one of those random 6 choices. So, I got the random. And I'm going to get it from the list called wrong. There you go. And so what we will do, we'll choose one from there randomly. And you probably say, well, what if he chooses the one from the solution? We'll put another variable called unique. So let me put another one. I'm going to call it wrong 2. And I'm going to, is the exact same thing. And I'm going to create a new one and I'm going to call it wrong 3. So wrong 3. And it will be one of these 6 choices. Oh, and I forgot. Okay, I need to put it at 1 decimal. Okay, 1 decimal. And I'm going to put 1 decimal. And that way they're all very consistent. Yeah. And I'll put this one 1 decimal. There you go. So there it is. But you know, again, they could all be the same if, in fact, let me put it like this so you can see them. So I will put the correct answer here and insert variable, and I call it X solution. I didn't have to call it X solution. I could just call it X, but I'll put it there, and I'll put units right now, and I'll insert the wrong one. I want you to see what happens. Wrong one, and then I'll put the wrong 2, and yeah, I must put units, and I'll fix the insert variable, and then I'll call it wrong insert. Now take a look at this. Notice that the 28 is repeated, and the 27 is repeated 3 times. So you probably say it's a disaster. 42 is repeated because he gave me a solution and he chose the one of them. We chose one of 6 choices, but you know, it could be repeated and they're randomly. Look at this, it randomly selected the 3 of them. So the way you fix it is this way. And I wanted you to see so that you could justify the new condition. This is a condition. Yeah? So I put a condition and I say, look, I want my answer to be unique. So is unique. And I put a parenthesis. I want the X solution to be different from wrong 1, from wrong 2, and from wrong 3. And now, if I go back to this, let me record it over here. And now look at this. Yeah, all of them are different. And because the program, what it does, it looks for make sure that the answers are not repeated. Now notice that the answer is A. So I need to make sure that we scramble this and we scramble them all. So I go Control D and I want a new variable. And I call it a scramble true, and I press Okay, done. And now take a look at this. Yeah. Uh, the answer is A. The answer is now D. The answer is D, B, and so on. So we'll record. Oh, I need to clean this. And so I need to remove the background, and I need to remove the X and the Y axis, and I need to remove the labels. So I want nothing on it. I want to apply it, and I'm going to see and take a look at this. Now it looks very clean. Now I want this. This is the widest one, so I'm going to notice how it centers it. Yeah. And so if I go to, that's number 2. Number 3 is, seems to be the tallest, 3 and, yeah, 3 and 1. So I am going to center, so it doesn't space. And so let's take a look at it now. And this works for all of them. Take a look at this. Yeah. And so this will work. And so there it is. Happy coding, happy programming. And I'll fix the units